The Loki Season 2 ending is a masterpiece. The monumental finale of Loki Season 2 is a mic drop moment that will resonate through the MCU forever. As the god of mischief twisting chronological journey reach its end, the ripples from Loki's impactful conclusion will felt across Marvel's multiverse forever. Join me as we explore why this mind-bending episode is an artistic win and a milestone for the MCU future. Grab your tempad because we're diving into a deep analysis of Loki's masterful universe-shaking finale, in my opinion, on why this is so huge. A core theme of Loki's second season is free will versus determinism. Is the future predictable, or can we forge our own path? The finale emphasized this debate through Loki trapped in a cycle of time, desperately trying to alter fate's fixed flow with the many issues of the time loop, but soon discover what he has to do. We've seen time loops before, but never executed with such poignancy, with such detail. As Loki relieves the temporal mayhem surrounding the TVA's demise, he anciently strives to shift events even slightly off their axis. Each soul-crushing failure highlights Loki's growth. His moral compass now is against sacrificing lives for the greater good. Moments like pleading with Victor underscore Loki's humanity beneath the horns. This sequence constructs an emotional arc that earns Loki eventual revelation. The looping also marries the theme and character development. Only by fully grasping his inability to change destiny does Loki break bad habits and realize his true power comes from within. Loki's back and forth with He Remains is a masterclass in villainous monologues. Jonathan Majors utterly dominates in his charismatic give and take with Tom. Their philosophizing on control versus rebellion drives straight into the heart of Loki identity crisis. In Kang's sly observation that Loki merely continues the loop by again rejecting his offer is genius. This cycling dialogue hides the finale's central conflict, independence versus subservience. It asks how can we escape the roles others define for us, or what pretty much we're destined to do, and create our own path. Their interplay lets these two brilliant actors showcase their chemistry and intellects. Major's Kang is clearly having so much fun toying with Loki's mind. We could watch these two verbally fence across infinity and never tire of their communication and acting, which is just beautiful. Their cerebral straining exchange pushed Loki to his mental moral brink, kill Sylvie and become the protector of the sacred timeline, or forge his own path. But Loki's emergence later from the TVA's cocoon sporting his royal horns is more than just a cool visual. It symbolizes Loki shedding the final layers of identity placed on him by external forces. The visual storytelling brilliantly depicts Loki transcending fabricated roles, prince, agent, and villain to embrace his innate divine power. The rich characterization built across 2 seasons pays off beautifully when Loki parts ways with Sylvie, as well as Mobius, determined to follow his own compass. Tom Hiddleston's emotional performance speaks volume in mere facial expressions about how far Loki has come. This resonates profoundly because Loki feels wholly earned. His values and priorities shifted gradually across his multi-season arc, with moving pit stops like opening up with Mobius. All this thoughtful character work culminates in Loki finally believing he deserved to be good, and to be a god he envisioned. Beyond labels like villain or hero, his hard-fought self-actualization is a win in storytelling. Now what is beautiful is revealing the shape of Loki's new multiverse as the fabled World 3. Yggdrasil is pure genius in my opinion.
Yggdrasil, tree of the world.
Brother, by the branches of Yggdrasil, the world's tree.
Remixing mythological elements is peak Marvel, so something that we see here. Yggdrasil beautifully encapsulates Loki's role as a new artist conducting the symphony of time. This symbolism imagines the multiverse not as a chaotic branch, but as a cohesive whole, with Loki now connecting force between worlds. It wraps enormous concepts in an elegant visual metaphor, but as a living representation of reality underlying oneness. Just as Norse lore says Yggdrasil bound together the 9 realms, Loki now weaves the tapestry of existence. This mythological motif also grounds Loki mind-expanding concepts in human culture. Yggdrasil evokes ancient wisdom about unity through diversity, a perfect encapsulation of Loki's realization about appreciating life priority. Loki foregoing the chance to turn back time and stop Sylvie demonstrates huge growth for his character. Earlier Loki would have taken the selfish route without hesitation, but the finale completes Loki's emotional odyssey from self-interest to self-sacrifice. He opts to preserve others' freedom rather than hijack their system for the greater good. This ties back about the line about choosing your own burden. Loki now grasps that embracing life's pain is better than robbing people of meaning. His ideological about face fully earns Loki his monumentous new role in the multiverse puzzle. The finale also brings Loki's quest for identity full circle in clever ways. Loki spent years defining himself as Asgard resident bad boy, only to discover he's merely one more variant among infinite Lokis. Yet in the end, Loki asserts his glorious purpose as a totally unique being, neither villain nor hero, but as a god who walks his own path. Loki's personal liberation from prescribed narrative allows him to now liberate all life from the sacred timeline shackles, and the finale features two vital conversations that influence this decision. First, the heart-to-heart with Mobius, who reveals to Loki over regret over his inability to change fate and make the right decision. Mobius emphasized that Renslayer took the hard decision in saving the TVA from total destruction. This exchange highlights Loki's growth. He now judged success by life's save, not blind loyalty to rigid rules. Mobius' fate reassures that his efforts had meaning, fueling his belief in writing his own destiny. Sylvie later asked Loki what he truly wants when offered his chance to raise her. Obviously, you can see that he doesn't do this because he loves her. She says that if there are no good choices, you must decide what future you're willing to die for. Sylvie advised crystallized that Loki's priorities have shifted from order to human freedom. Loki realized that he's ready to sacrifice everything for his friend's free will. These pivotal dialogues help Loki synthesize his experience into a new worldview. Confronted with Kang's offer to erase Sylvie and reset the timeline or the sacred timeline, Loki chooses neither option. He rejects supremacy gained through manipulation or oppression. Instead, Loki walks his own path, guided by care for specific people and lives over abstract principles. In this heartful evolution, Loki finally escapes the mental shackles of a greater good defined by others. He steps into being the complex, compassionate god capable of guiding the multiverse. Loki's pivotal choice in the finale opened up a multiverse of possibilities for the MCU. The branching timelines Loki now oversees could lead to all manner of alternate realities and bizarre characters variants for Marvel to explore. Loki has stocked chaos that would likely allow Phase 5's villain Kang to rise in the power vacuum or other villain. Perhaps Loki will have to help across the multiverse. But the stage is set for reality-sharing conflicts as branches are gonna collide with conquest, hungry offshoots. Loki Season 2 ending tricks the MCU to form new configurations and story potential. The places Phase 5 can take a multiverse under Loki's oversight are practically infinite. Loki may have to train a multiversal Avengers army, but yeah, that's so many possibilities. But Loki knows they will never accept peace built on millions of pruned lives. Now, the decision of Loki springs not from logic but emotional connection, something that was so beautiful to see. He knows they will never accept peace built on billions of pruned lives. Loki abandoned his chance to save the timeline because really his friends now supersede abstract ideals. The man who flew solo for centuries puts real human relationship first when it matters most. From Mobius' faith in him to Sylvie's encouragement, Loki's found family help him shed past narcissism. His choice honors the love they show a broken man. Loki finally understands that sacrificing others' soul to appease your conscience solves nothing. By following his heart, Loki proves he's grown to view rules as living people, no pawns. Our bonds give life meaning, so Loki embraced the messiness of free will, something that we're gonna see in Phase 5. Loki's evolution across this Disney Plus series has been a masterclass in multidimensional characterization. We have witnessed this complex figure transform from a shallow villain into a relatable and now hero, and finally a self-actualized defender of the multiverse. One aspect of Loki's journey that I have not touched on yet is how he learned to take responsibility for his actions. A key dimension of Loki's growth is his acceptance of responsibility. When we first meet Loki, he refused accountability for the chaos and pain his schemes inflicted. But this time, the TVA forced Loki to reckon with the true cause of his selfish gambits. From unleashing the alien invasion of New York to now protecting the sacred timeline to stopping Sylvie, Loki can no longer rationalize away the suffering left in his wake. His painful reflection breeds shame and a desire for autonomy. Loki realizes he's alone responsible for making amends through compassion, not more violence. And this is why having the world tree Yggdrasil connects beautifully to these mythological roots. Yggdrasil, the tree of life, stands prominently in Viking lore as a force binding together the 9 realms. By weaving Yggdrasil, Loki trapped into his abilities to craft into his forms, bringing harmony to the multiverse. This symbolism resonates beautifully. The ending to Loki Season 2 is a moment or watershed moment for the MCU. It completes Loki's journey into a hero on his own terms. This game-changing finale executes on both character resolution and universe expansion with elegance and emotion, allowing Loki to finally grasp his glorious purpose, set up infinite possibilities for Marvel's story. Loki's mythic metamorphosis across his 2 seasons on Disney Plus makes for one of the MCU's most rewarding viewing experience. By developing one of Marvel's most complex figures, the show deconstructs the notion of good and evil. In the process, we discover that self-knowledge and human connection can inspire growth in even the coldest souls. Loki's profound transformation shows the long difficult work of shedding egocentric and discovering more purpose. His hard-won redemption and rise to a god, in my opinion, reveals glimpses of divinity within us all. By the glorious finale, Loki transcends shallow labels, becoming the defender of life tapestry in all its messy splendor. Loki closing chapter captures all that makes the MCU exceptional, bending imagination mixed with resonant characterization. The finale ambitious ideas never overwhelm the intimate heart at the center of the story, one man eternal quest to write his own destiny or write his own story. And that perfect balance of scope and vulnerability is why Loki Season 2 is a masterpiece.